Salah will go for the return, the defender's lost him, and across the face of goal, Diogo Jota, Liverpool score, and Davies got a toe, but not enough to stop Mohamed Salah, and he scored on the opening day again. It's stunning from Liverpool.
If it all goes according to plan, this new-look Liverpool team will be unstoppable. 3 games, 3 wins, 3 clean sheets. It's the same old players at the club, only this time under Arne Slot they look different, and it's all because of a secret weapon that's making them dominate and win games. At the start of the current season, there was much speculation about how Liverpool would perform. See, for the first time in 9 years, they were coming out of the tunnel with a different manager. After a quiet transfer window and a disappointing start to the preseason with a 1-0 defeat to Preston North End, the critics were out. Some even labelled Slot as a failure in the making already, but he's gone ahead and changed all that. Liverpool is playing controlled football. Under Klopp, the team used to operate in a traditional 4-3-3 system that meant all-out attacking football and a high press. And while this was entertaining to watch, the downside was that they could easily get caught out on the counter, conceding goals like this. Arne Slot's got a fix already. Slot's tactics are as unique as the man himself. On paper, it's a 4-2-3-1 system, with 2 holding midfielders and 1 advanced midfielder playing as a number 10 just behind the front 3. But in reality, he's got a tactical setup for every phase of the game. Every time Liverpool have pressed this season, it's been with a clear system. It's not as if they didn't do this under Klopp. If anything, they were known as a pressing machine that didn't stop. But you see, guys, Slot wants his team to press at the right time, and by that I mean when they charge up high and win the ball. He wants the team to take a breather by slowing the tempo down, before restarting the attacking phase of the game, and he does this to avoid getting countered by the opposition. Still, on how Liverpool press, 2 of the attackers, usually Mohamed Salah and Luis Diaz, will make curved runs to trap the opposition inside, and what this does is restrict them to only one side of the pitch to play in. Against Manchester United, this worked to perfection. Every time United had the ball and tried to build out from the back, Liverpool had trapped them in. Rather than trigger a press with everyone rushing for the ball at a go, the curve runs from Luis Diaz on one side and Mohamed Salah on the other meant United had no option but to shuffle the ball between flanks. Still, the reality was, every time they did it, it was the same thing. Liverpool already had banks to triangles or more waiting to pounce, which was clearly evident in the 3rd goal at Old Trafford. As soon as Mainu receives the ball, he knows he's done for. Behind these 2, the midfield stepped up as well, basically creating a 4-4-2 pressing system that worked as a treat this season, most especially with this guy. Under Slot, he's been a revelation. He ranks first among Liverpool players for the most duels won with 17, first for the most interceptions with 7, third for the most passes with 156, third in the most final third completed passes with 43, and third for the most take-ons completed with 3. He's been a real engine in the heart of Liverpool's midfield so far. In the game versus Manchester United, while United's midfield looked non-existent for large parts of the game, Ryan Gravenberch was a real standout all through. Some of his touches and general play were insane. Seems like Slot's been able to unlock another level to his game, and it's not just him. Dominik Szoboszlai is adding up the numbers too. Still, in the game versus United, Szoboszlai ran the show. He covered the most distance in the match with 11.7 kilometers, ranked first for the most sprints with 24, won possession the most 10 times, and created the most chances with 3. Instant improvement under Slot already. Defensively, Liverpool has been very solid this season, and once again, it's because of a tactical tweak Slot has set out. He's retained some of Klopp's ideas, but found a way to make them even better. Traditionally, with the players they've got and the way the team is set up, Liverpool pushes the defensive line high up the pitch, and Slot's retaining that same idea. The only difference is they're compact now, and what that means is the space between the midfield and wingers and fullbacks isn't as wide as it used to be. Short passes instead of long crossfield balls mean there are lesser chances of the opposition intercepting the ball, as the team getting caught on the counter. Tactically, Slot's game plan from a defensive perspective is very clear. He wants to create as many overloads in central areas as possible so the distance between the passing options is small. That's why he has his fullbacks, or at least one at a time, inverting, and the other freeing up space on the opposite flank to give the opposition of an outlet if the team needs one. Hang on a sec, you still haven't subscribed to Total Footy? Come on, all you've got to do is hit that subscribe button down below. Under Slot, it's now a thing for either one of Andy Robertson or Trent Alexander to invert when the team is on the defensive half of the field, and what this effectively does is create multiple passing options for the team to get out and transition to attack. Under Klopp, everyone knew what Liverpool was about. Trent Alexander-Arnold and Andy Robertson usually pushed up high the pitch to swing crosses in, and the two centre-backs push almost to the halfway point, but Slot prefers a calmer and more reserved approach. When Liverpool plays against a team that can keep the ball, two of the midfield three drop in with the back four to make it a 6 versus 5 overload, and the idea once again is to have as many passing options in getting out instead of the goalie clearing it long. It's working perfectly too. Liverpool is the only team yet to concede in the league this season. They've been amazing in defence. It's quite easy to forget that tactics aside. The personnel in there are some of the best in the world. Virgil van Dijk seems to be getting near the 2018-19 level that had him 6 votes off the Ballon d'Or that season. Every time Ibrahima Konate has played alongside him, he's looked as sharp as ever. Trent Alexander-Arnold and Andy Robertson at right and left back mean Liverpool have been blessed in that position for years, but attack is where it really is, and in this aspect, Liverpool have looked sharp. They've been a mix of everything, like the Luis Diaz goal against Brentford shows. They can hit on the break and score on the counter like they used to. But as Diogo Jota's opener versus Ipswich also shows, they can build up from the deep, penetrate the opposition and score. In reality, they could have had even more goals this season, but for a couple of wasted chances, and Dominic Szoboszlai forgetting mid-game versus Manchester United he actually had a left foot, but the attack also features another interesting thing about Slot. Rather than attacking from minute 1 to 90, he wants to control the game. What does this mean? Using the match versus United, on every occasion when Trent Alexander-Arnold tried to send a long ball or risky pass over the top, Slot immediately turned away in disgust. Heck, that could even be the reason why he took him off against Brentford. Slot doesn't want that. Instead of forcing the game, the idea of knitting passes around the opposition is to draw them out and look for the space. The players in the squad are capable of playing killer passes if needed as well, but in the same attack, Slot's got a secret trick he's been pulling on his opponents that no one seems to have figured out yet. Zone 14. Pretty sure you're wondering what that is. Well guys, that's Slot's secret. The idea behind this is that in a game, the pitch is divided into small areas made up of 18 zones, and Zone 14 is the area just behind the opposition's penalty box, and that's what Slot is using to exploit teams. Instead of using wing play like was the case under Klopp, Slot overloads the 14th zone with his attacking players and keeps the wings free. So when the wide players receive the ball, the opposition immediately expects a cross to come in and set up to clear it. Slot sees this and knows this too. With him in charge of Liverpool now, direct balls from out wide will reduce because he believes there's a lesser chance of scoring from a cross or converting one. So instead of putting in a cross, Slot would rather have a cut back into an attacking player in that zone or a pass into the zone. By doing this, controlling the game from the 14th zone, it opens up the possibilities of either going back out wide, going even further back to recycle play, picking out a run, or a slipped pass into an inside forward. It's working too. Liverpool is playing like a unit. Mohamed Salah has started the season like a man on a mission. He's scored in each of Liverpool's 3 games this season, but even this doesn't tell the full story. At 32, you'd be expecting him to slow down a bit, and you'd be wrong. It's a pretty common theme for wingers to become penalty box experts as they grow older, but with Salah, it's the opposite. He's getting faster with his age. When compared with the last 4 seasons, the numbers show that Salah is covering more distance per game than ever. In the 2021-2022, 2022-23 and 2023-24 seasons, he covered 9.5, 9.6 and 9.8 kilometers respectively. This season, he's on 10.1 kilometers. He's also applying more pressure in the final third. 14 counted as opposed to his 11.3, 11.6 and 10.3 kilometers from the previous season as well. His ability to combine goal scoring with off-the-ball work and providing assists makes him a proper fit for Slot's controlled brand of football. Another player in the Liverpool attack who's gone up a gear under Slot is Luis Diaz. This season, he's been on another level. There's no questioning his ability and technical skills, but last season, Diaz only finished with 8 goals and 5 assists. Safe to say his overall end product was poor. Only 3 games in so far this new campaign, and he's set to change all that. The question is, what has Slot done to make Diaz different? Like he used his left winger at Feyenoord, Slot wants Diaz to operate as a left-sided number 10, meaning Diaz has the freedom to express himself by taking on the opposition and moving into central areas. He also wants Diaz to make more central runs into the box. He's doing that, and it's paying off. Look at the position he picked up for the second goal, down the middle and guided a clean finish into the goal. Slot's transformation of the Liverpool team is already in motion. The 3 wins they've had this season have all been different tests. 63% possession against Ipswich, 37% possession against Brentford and 47% possession against United. Yet for each challenge, they found a way to beat it while looking solid at the same time. Think this new Liverpool team has only been lucky so far? Let us know in the comments below. And while you're at it, don't forget to like the video and subscribe to Total Footy for more awesome content like this.